Everybody? This is the Digital World Podcast, and here we see truckers warn federal regulators of drug testing bottlenecks. And I'm not going to bore you with it. I always link the description to the articles I use in the description box. But essentially, what's happening is they're trying to randomly drug test these truck drivers. And there's not issue with the drug test. The issue is when they go to the site at which they're being tested, one, either they don't have the cup to administer for the drug test, or they don't have the uh, requisite personnel to complete or to handle the drug test. So these drivers are between a rock and a hard place because if they leave without the drug test, it's the same as if they had a positive test. And so what's happening is they're literally at odds. And we know that in the trucking industry, it has been really difficult. There's been shortages of drivers. And however, there's some truckers that are making a lot of money because of high prices. And I saw this interview done by the Economic Ninja. He's a great channel. You guys should definitely check him out. In which he was interviewing a fella by the name of Sage, I believe, and he has a trucking company that he started, I believe. And he's saying, yeah, it's great for my company right now because the prices are really high. But he mentioned how if someone is killing it, someone is getting killed on the other end. And so, and basically what I'm trying to say is someone's paying the price for those expenses, for those high prices. And at the end of that supply is the consumer because we buy those goods, we buy those services. And so at the end, we're picking up the tab, whether you realize that or not. And the fact that obviously there's shortages in the supply chain makes things increasingly difficult because it adds to the already backlog system that is happening. And here, I'll just read this for you so you guys can see what I was talking about. Drivers have reported to facilities that lack equipment like drug testing specimen cups due to the current broader shortages of plastics. In other instances, facilities don't have qualified personnel to administer the test. From what we have heard from testing facilities, these disruptions are due to the continuing impacts of the cerveza sickness. Okay, so you see that they're literally put between a rock and a hard place. And here, let me read this. But if issues at the collection site prevent the facility from completing the test, they cannot simply leave the site, even if a facility is unable to complete the required test. This is because leaving the site could constitute a refusal, which has the same consequences as a positive test. As a result, a trucker would lose their ability to drive. And so you see the contradictions that are happening left and right. And by contradictions, I mean they're asked to do one thing, but technically, if they can't complete that one thing by no fault of their own, then they can't just leave because it would constitute like a positive test. So you see the issue that's arising here. And we need truckers to carry the goods, the products that we buy at the stores. And without that, I mean, with a shortage of truckers, then you start seeing higher prices by, the truckers that are left, by companies that have truckers that are still going. And the prices will just increase. So this is the point I'm trying to make and bring across. Because it's everywhere. Any place I look and any place I observe, I notice this same trend. And there's just no winning. There's no winning. And that's why I'm a huge advocate and I keep saying prepare, prepare, prepare. Because you see what's coming in the horizon. And it's scary, but you got to tackle it head on. You can't avoid it because if you try to avoid it and ignore it and become ignorant of it, then you're setting yourself up for big failure. So if you tackle it head on and prepare ahead of time, you can mitigate whatever's coming. So I hope this episode has brought you some value. Hope you guys are learning from the articles I'm presenting. But yeah, it's time to pay attention if you've been sort of paying attention or haven't been paying attention, because this is serious. So you guys can do it. I'm here to support you guys, and I'm here bringing you the news. I hope this episode has brought you some value. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.